everyone. I'm going to be doing my presentation on dwarfism. I'm currently outside since my son Zed is sleeping. So I apologize for any extra noise like lawnmowers or birds that are going on. What is dwarfism? Dwarfism is short stature that results from a genetic or medical condition. There are two broad types of dwarfism, disproportionate dwarfism and proportionate dwarfism. The most common type of dwarfism is disproportionate, also called achondroplasia. I decided to use a picture instead of trying to explain the difference between disproportionate and proportionate dwarfism. Disproportionate dwarfism is the most common type, like I said, and the torso will be normal size, but they will have shorter limbs. And proportionate dwarfism is that the individual is smaller all over rather than just the limbs. Signs and symptoms for both types of dwarfisms. They might have a short trunk and neck. They will have shortened arms and legs, average size hands and feet, broad rounded chest. They might have a cleft palate. They might have hip deformities, instability of the neck bones, arthritis, and problems with joint movement. Adult height ranging from 3 feet to just over 4 feet. So those are all signs and symptoms of proportionate dwarfism. And the last three are signs of disproportionate dwarfism, which is height below the 3rd percentile on standard pediatric growth charts, growth rate slower than expected for age, and delayed or no sexual development during the teen years. When are individuals diagnosed? As early as gestational period, dwarfism may be suspected during a prenatal ultrasound if very short limbs disproportionate to the trunk are noted. I actually have a cousin who gave birth to a son who has dwarfism, and she was telling me that around 20 weeks she went in for an ultrasound and they were doing the measurements of the limbs, and they said, you know, his femur looks a little shorter, it's a few weeks behind where it should be, and his head is a little bit larger. And she went in for another ultrasound, and eventually she just said, we don't need to do any more measurements, I'm going to have him no matter what, so it doesn't really matter what size his limbs are. She gave birth to him naturally, which normally they do C-sections because their head is much larger. So I just thought that was interesting. And then so as soon as diagnostic tests are done, pediatricians can diagnose a patient with dwarfism. This is typically done when they are newborns or infants, but also may not be noticeable until the child becomes a toddler. So when she gave birth to her son Chase, they actually took him for x-rays right after he was born to help determine whether he had dwarfism or not. How did they diagnose? Diagnostic tests such as measurements, appearance, image technology such as x-rays and MRIs, genetic tests, family history, and hormone tests. Areas of occupation that a child with dwarfism might struggle with. So in their IDLs, children mostly struggle with reaching things that are easily accessible to people of normal height. So a child with dwarfism might need adaptations to help with their abilities to perform their ADLs, such as bathing and showering, toileting, dressing, feeding, functional mobility, and personal hygiene and grooming. So the counter that has their toothbrush might be too high and they might need a stool. The shower head might need to be lowered, or they need to come up with an adaptation for that. And just like needing adaptations to perform their ADLs, they'll need adaptations to help them perform their IADLs. Children with dwarfism may struggle with community mobility because of their short stature. They may struggle to reach countertops to participate in meal preparation and cleanup. Shopping may be difficult for dwarves. Going into grocery stores, not having access to shorter carts, as well as not being able to reach items in higher shelves without adaptations can be challenging. Also, shopping to find clothes that fit may be difficult with those who have dwarfism. I know that my cousin told me whenever Chase needed long sleeve shirts, the sleeves were always too long and pants were always too long, so they always needed to hem his pants and shorten his long sleeve shirts because they didn't fit properly. In the education setting, children with dwarfism may struggle in non-academic activities such as during recess and in the lunchroom or hallway. They may require shorter lockers and other ways to access water fountains and serving shelves in the lunchroom. They also may require bathroom adaptations at school. They may also struggle with extracurricular activities such as sports, band, and cheerleading. So if a child opts to participate in a sport, they just may have a little bit of difficulty keeping up with those of average height. Leisure activities. Depending on the leisure activity, adaptations may be required. Aside from the assistance of adaptations, children with dwarfism have few limitations as to which leisure activities they may perform. Social participation. Children with dwarfism may struggle with social participation in that they may experience bullying due to being different. OT treatment options. So one treatment option is that OTAs can help with children who have this disorder by adapting their home to be able to accomplish independence in ADLs. These children may struggle in reaching the sink, like I said, to brush their teeth or reach their shower head to independently take a shower. They may not be able to perform toileting easily, and they may not be able to feed themselves as easily because the table's too high. OT services can help by educating the family on what adaptations they can use, or they can help the families by going into the home themselves and helping to make those adaptations that they need. Another treatment option is the OTAs can help children with dwarfism be more successful in independently performing their IADLs as well. OT services can help the child adapt to be able to help their families grocery shop by maybe getting a reacher so that they can reach things on higher shelves. They also may be able to help children learn how to adapt to better ride a bike, which would assist in their community mobility. This would also help them be able to participate in play activities. They can also provide information to alternative clothing shopping for the child and their family. I know that my cousin Kimmy said that with Chase, it took a lot longer for him to learn how to ride a bike due to his dwarfism. So OTAs can come in and help with those sort of things. OTAs can help children with dwarfism who are struggling with social participation by addressing any bullying issues that are occurring in their school, as well as providing the child with coping strategies and external resources for social development. So I just threw in 2 pictures of Chase here. He had to get leg straightening surgery. So you can see in the picture of on the left, his right leg is curved a lot more and his bones are thicker. So he had to go through 2 leg straightening surgeries. And also, his surgeon was a dwarf, actually. So in terms of work, dwarves can really do anything they put their minds to. They can become surgeons, lawyers, whatever. There might be some limitations with some jobs, but adaptations can be made and they can help them. Kimmy said that the surgeon was given a special tool or a special stool to use during surgery so that he could access it better and be at everyone's height. So here is the SPK video. I'm just going to show you guys the intro and then 8:58 to 9:44. This actually isn't a child, but I found it really interesting because he had a lot of really good points that he made, and he experienced a lot of bullying, and he talks about how he overcame that and handled that.
The world to know about you?
That's a great question.
If you missed that, the guy just asked him, what would you like the world to know about you?
That there's more that meets the eye. Even though I'm 3'9", I'm 10 feet tall, and you'll quickly discover that's what my personality brings to the table.
Here we are, meeting for the first time. How would you prefer I greet you?
Handshake, eye contact.
That's it?
Yeah. We think that we're defined by...
Throughout the video, he talks a lot about his experience with bullying. So here he expands on that and how he handled it.
capable of doing whatever you set your mind to.
What are you going to focus on? What are you allowing your energy and your emotions to be spent on? The people that drain you and are constantly complaining every day on your Instagram feed that you just see nothing but complaints saying how bad their life is? Or are you going to focus on people that actually do something to encourage you to be a better person, whether it's through love, positivity, gratitude, humor? Any of those things truly do make a difference. Things are bigger than just our place in this world. There's a great, great big universe out there. And yes, we are one little grain of sand in it, but that doesn't mean that the actions that we possess can't turn into big boulders.
And I think at the end of the day,
Right. And these are just my citations. And thanks everyone for watching.